It's interesting that I'm making this video about how technology has gotten worse when this is the second time trying to make the video, because the first time my computer blue screened on me. It's ironic, I think. But basically, the essence of this video was going to be about how the potential for technology is increasing over the years, while the actual technology we get has been worse over the years. Because, for example, recently I asked on Facebook if anybody had any suggestions about, I was thinking about buying a new microwave, and the one I've had now probably had 15 years or something before I even moved out of my mom's house, maybe. Like, it's never had a problem. It is a Sharp carousel microwave. I don't even know what year it came out, but it's never had a problem. I've had it all gunked up and completely dirty and nasty, and it still works. Cleaned it up, just like new. So I was asking on Facebook, and everybody's like, nah, you don't want to get one nowadays because they only last 1 or 2 years. So the companies come up with good technology, but then they decide not to use it because they want to incrementally increase technology where they make the most amount of profits. They can't just give you the best they have now. I used to think, like, back in the early days of games, like when they had 8-bit games, like eventually we're going to have like 6 gigabyte games. So why didn't it doubles every year or every time they make a new step in progress? Why don't they just, instead of thinking what's double 8, let's make 16 bits next, then let's make the 32 bits next. Let's just go ahead and make like 256 bits. Let's just skip a few steps. Why can't they do that? I don't know how it works, like how they keep making things smaller but they're better. And now you got these new iPhones, or the new Android phones coming out. They're like 3 gigs instead of the 1 gig iPhones and stuff people were talking about. Now I remember when I had my red truck in the 90s, there were these CD players. There were like 3 disc changers and 5 disc changers, and that was like a big deal. I don't know if you put them behind your seat or you could put them underneath the radio or whatever, but they were like a big plate, and it spun them around like 5 discs, and it spun them around to change them. And then I went to Sears and I found, I still got it in my bedroom. I can get it out and show you, but it's a big piece of metal and it's heavy. It's like a jukebox style where they're all lined up, like 60 CDs plus 1 in the thing. So it's 61 disc changer, and I got it for like, I want to say $200 or $50 or something. It was way cheaper, or it was the same price as the 5 disc changers, but it was like 60. And then after that, you never saw them anymore. It's like they just disappeared, like they just removed them. And I think it was because these companies got greedy and they realized this is way too much. We need to like make a 10, and then we need to make like a 15 and a 20. Work our way up to the 60s. But then MP3s came along and just destroyed CDs altogether. So now we're up to like MP3 technology and digital downloads, and everything is in the cloud. So I wanted to talk about MP3 players. I've never owned an actual iPod. I know they're like a really small, tiny cubes now. And I went to Best Buy the other day to get a new MP3 player because mine has just been worn out from where I use it so much. And they don't really sell any good ones anymore. Like, this is my old one, right? I got this probably 5-6 years ago. I don't know, I've been using it longer, maybe 8 years ago. But this was like $50, $60 when I first got it. And it's a Sansa Fuse. It's made by SanDisk, which is the company that makes you know, the little memory sticks that go and stuff. And this is a work of art. This is the most functional electronic device probably I've ever had. As you can see, it has a wheel, an actual physical wheel. Like each click of the wheel is a menu change or whatever. You got this button for the home button. The old iPod style. It's got the video screen actually to display stuff. So if you notice on the back, it's silver, but it didn't come this way. I've used it so much, it had like a rubber coating on the back, and I've just worn it off. It started peeling, and I eventually just scraped it off with a knife, and I made like a silver back, so it looks pretty sweet. But this thing, I've just used it like on the weekends, 24/7, and when I'm at work, when I'm in my car, going on a road trip, when I'm going for a jog, and I've just used the shit out of this thing. It's been with me for years, like my companion. And I even like had a hair stuck in the back of the backlight of the LED screen at one point. I think it's still in there somewhere. It's all like scratched up and stuff, so I was going to get a new one. Because this one, I was asleep one night and I had my headphones plugged in and I started hearing some sound. I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. It was because this thing had turned itself on. Like, it turned itself on and off automatically. Like, I don't know why it's been doing that. So that's why I've been trying to get a new one of these. So I looked on Amazon, and right now you can buy one of these for $72 used. If you want a new one, there's a Sansa clip, which is similar, but it doesn't have as good a screen like this, and the button's a little different. I'm not sure how it would work. I don't know if it'll actually resume download or resume your like I listen to a lot of podcasts, and they're 3 hours sometimes, and you don't want to be fast forwarding to like the 2 hour mark or wherever you left off in the exact minute. And I figured out there's a trick. In the software of this, there's a folder called audiobooks, and even though it's not an audiobook, you can put a podcast in there, and it'll remember where you left off, and it'll pick it back up. And there's some of these MP3 players do that, and some don't. So it's kind of hard to find the ones that actually do. Okay, here's a new one. It's red, 4 gigabyte, which I think is what this is. $225. Now there's some deal with Amazon. I'm not sure how Amazon works, but it's based on the rarity of things. Here's one $245. It's silver. Blue one's $234. If you want one exactly like this. So it's kind of like when stuff goes out of sale, like they stop making something, it goes up exponentially. There was an example, this book, the Welcome to the NHK novel. It was only in Japan, and the only way you could get it was to have it imported, and it's just a book, and it was like $400 at one point, I think, on Amazon because of the rarity of it. So that's weird, right? Now the headphones I use are these Sony T-Psych headphones, over the ear clips. They go on like this. You probably see me wear them all the time in videos. And I don't like these earbud types because it's like you're jamming shit in your ear. And I don't like having shit stuck in my ear. My ears itch. They get wax in there. Good thing about these is they have these little nubs so you can jam them in there and get your earwax out. It's great. They fit perfectly. I've got also these Panasonic ones, which is they're too wide. They didn't fit in your ear good for scratching your ears. But basically, over the years, the headphones, they stopped making these, so the price has gone up. I originally got these for $30, I think, and then they went up to like $40, $45, and then the last time I bought them, they were like $70. I think I bought 2 pair then, so like, I've got these, I've got these, I've got another pair of these, another 2 pair of these. I've got like 3 of these because these are the best. You probably see me playing the DayZ with these because the sound is so good. The sound on the speakers is amazing, but the problem is the wires are kind of shitty. Like, I used to use these just the regular Sony ear clips like this, right? The silver ones with the blue and the silver. Now if you go along the wire, let me find an example. Like right here, see how the wire is kind of like, it looks like it's been chewed through. Just the wire was really shitty. Made the coating on the wire, and it gets all crinkly. So they upgraded to this kind of wire. And I think nowadays there's some that have like this fabric-y kind of stuff. So what I ended up having to do was getting one of these, which is like the new version of this, but it doesn't have like the wheel this one has. It has a touch screen because now the smartphones are out and everybody wants to have shitty touch screens. Now you have this button at the top, which you have to hold for 4 seconds or something to get it to come on. So if you just hit the button, nothing happens. It's annoying. You gotta wait for the thing. Now the problem with this is, if you hold it like this, you see your finger touches this back button a lot, and it'll mess up your shit, and it'll get you backed out into wrong menus and stuff. And if you accidentally hit a button, it could like change the podcast. If you're like, right now this one, I'm 2 hours and 4 minutes in Joe Rogan podcast. Now if I hit forward, it's gonna go to the next one, and it'll reset that one. So if I want to save my place here, I've got to pause it, and then I got to hold this button here for 2 seconds, and it locks it, where if you touch stuff, it doesn't mess it up now. But remember, like I said, if you hold it for 4 seconds, it turns it off. So you gotta like count in your head how many number of seconds I'm gonna hit this button. And then the menus are all weird. Like they got different podcasts in different folders or something. And it's hard to, they're not even ordered right, and it's hard to find stuff. You can't just like scroll the wheel to, oh, this is what I want forward, and it'll play it. So this is worse technology than what we had 6 years ago. But this was $30. It is pretty cheap because it's a piece of shit, cheapo crap. You can even feel it's lighter than this one. This is a rugged, well-made work of art. I almost wish it was like Italian because they make some Italian good shit, like the Ferraris and the guns. But this is American-made piece of crap, probably, or I don't know. So they stopped making the good MP3 players. They stopped making the good headphones. But the problem I was having was my AC in my apartment is really loud. Let me turn it on so you can hear exactly what it sounds like. This is off. On. Off. On. Near. Far. Okay, so I went and got some headphones. You've probably seen me wear these. These are made by Corsair. Corsair Vintage 2100, I think, that Griff suggested, which I never should listen to Griff ever again. These are pieces of shit. I don't know what the best ones are. I know the Turtle Beach X32s or 24s or whatever, they feel really nice. but everybody says they wear out in a year or two, just like the new microwaves. Everything can't last now because everything's a piece of crap. They're giant, for one thing, and they hurt. Do you notice my ear hair? You see this part of my ear that pokes out? It scratches on the inside of this, and it rubs, and it's raw as fuck, and it hurts. It's touching it right now. It hurts. It's because I've been using these so much. I'm almost getting a scar there. And the fuzzy part is all fuzzy and warm. It's probably good in the wintertime, but in the summer, like now, it's hot. And your ears get hot. Nobody likes that. And the sound, when you play DayZ, I can't even hear the helicopters sound like they're really far away. If you use these, you can really tell exactly where the helicopter is and where it's coming from. But these, I don't know. They're noise canceling, which is good, I guess. And they're wireless, so I could take it and take a shit at the same time while I'm still talking on Skype, which Austin does all the time. And he takes pisses and he goes washes dishes and stuff and makes all these water noises on Skype, and it's really annoying. But that's the only good thing. It's wireless and noise cancellation, I guess, is a good thing. But then, like when you go to edit a video, the WAV file doesn't pick up the sound where it's good. So when you see me talking in the waveform, it's just like a flat line, so I can't tell where the spaces is or where I'm about to, like pause or say and I want to cut it out. So I've got 4 sets of these stupid ass headphones. I really want to like restore them, so I went to Radio Shack. I got me one of these starter soldering kits, and I was gonna like try to fix them, but I don't really know what I'm doing. I did get one of these. What is this? A 1/8 inch, 3.5 millimeter male female adapter, which you unscrew it, I think, and then inside the headphone cords there's a left-right speaker cable and then a ground, I think. This looks pretty small to have 3 wires inside of it, though. If you look at this one, this has got the double wires linked together, but I don't think it would have a ground, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to be looking at. Does this even unscrew? This does not even unscrew. Like, I watched the video and they soldered the ground to like the outer part of this, and there's like these little spots for the left and the right. So I already know what I'm doing. Probably end the video here, but I thought I would record anyway in case something funny happened. So you got your solder, your whatever silver fulminate or whatever it's called. And you got this stuff. This is like a suction thing. Yeah, there's a little bit of suction in that. Hear that gas? So that, like, you melt the solder on something you want to unsolder and it sucks it up. And you got the soldering iron. There's some bigger solder. And there's like a rubber gasket, I guess, in case does it go on this thing? No, it's too big. I don't know what that's for. Here's like a sponge. I don't know what the hell this is. Smell box. I don't know what this stuff does. There's another sponge. Here's some desoldering braid. What's that do? That's some braided copper filament. What the fuck is that for? I don't even know. So I don't know what I'm doing here. Yeah, I should read the user guide. Okay, wait a minute. I see. This thing, it goes in like this. Alright? And then this thing goes in there like this. I thought it was like just thicker solder. Oh, it's magnetic too. Okay. Hey, what's this? This looks about the same diameter as that. Is that where that goes? So I'm going to have to take these headphones and listen to them and figure out which ones have which problems. Because some of them, I think the problem might be in the wiring, like this one. I know the last one I had, it was like only the left speaker. So like, you see how this one is, the left is connected to the right, and then the left goes all the way down into the jack. The problem with the jack, I'll have to take this off, and then I was going to solder on a new jack, but I don't know how to get in there for this now. It's just a hunk of metal. It's like $5 wasted, I guess.